All right, folks, after a lengthy technical difficulties here, we are live. What you did miss, first play of the from scrimmage for the Bearcats. Liam Montgomery hit Bryton Huey on a crossing route, about a 15-yard pass, but Huey was able to turn that into about a 45-yard gain. Brought the ball down out of bounds at about the 10-yard line of the Carmi Bulldogs. 2 plays later, we were able to punch the ball into the end zone. I did not see who brought that in. We were trying to get the feed up and running. So with me today, we have Skylar Stevens. We've been scrambling trying to get this feed up and running. So hopefully we haven't missed too much.
No, we're finally there, I think.
Yep.
Thanks to Luke Sager, all the way from the frozen tundra of Lambeau Field. Getting us set up.
Logan Jackson was able to kick the PAT. So right now we're setting at 7-0 Bearcats at 7:03, and it is a shortcut. Oh, that's the perfect kick right there. That's what he's been trying for all season long, both JV and varsity. The ball stopped dead at the 35-yard line, took one roll toward the sideline, and just stopped completely dead. It forced the Bulldogs to cover that because we had Lucas Grogan that was closing in real quick trying to recover that one.
Yeah. And this game is going to be one of those it's going to be tough because I was walking past, and we knew this from this previous Friday night. They don't have a lot of upperclassmen. They have 6 seniors, a handful of juniors, and almost their entire varsity was sophomores. And all those running backs that varsity face, that's kind of what they're looking at here.
Yep. This is, if memory serves me, this is Edwards. He was a starter on varsity. He was carving us up pretty heavy in the first half last Friday night, and for some reason he went out of the game in the varsity game, didn't return at halftime, but he looks perfectly healthy to me right now.
I don't see the one that I can't think of, number 5. He was like their
5 was a number they had. I don't see him anywhere on the field. 9 comes out. He might be having some hamstring issues. He is grabbing his the back of his leg there, and that might be why he came out of the varsity game. Let's see here. We don't have a score sheet. I'm trying to go off memories here. 2 was a varsity player as well. Pitch out to 14, and pickup of about 8 on the play for the Bulldogs.
And we actually have a full JV roster today.
Yes.
I know we had some kids missing that were out previously, but we got a full group, which is nice. So it's a full group of sophomores and our freshmen mixing in. I know we had some that were banged up a little bit Friday night.
I know Spencer Pettit was nursing a sore arm from the varsity game on Friday night, but he looks to be out there. It looks like he's got that wrist taped up, so he's good to go. Second down and about 4, and it's a handoff up the middle to number 40 for the Bulldogs. He's close to the first down, but I don't think he's going to get it.
No. And for those watching, you're not going to see anything special from Carmi. They don't pass. They basically hammer the ball right between the 2 tackles, and they're going to force you to tackle their big running backs. So, their varsity team is not their varsity team may be 0-6, but it's not going to. They're not going to be like that for long.
Right.
They have a ton of sophomores, a ton of freshmen. So they'll build. They're going to rebuild. But
and number 5, if I recall, his name was Brayfield. He's there on the sideline in shorts, so they're down. Number 21 was another running back that saw a lot of carries for the varsity game. I think I can't remember his name to be off the top of my head. Hill, number 9, has checked back in. He's been kind of little holding that left side on hamstring area, so we'll see how this game goes. It's 1st and 10 for the Bulldogs. The ball is at the 24-yard line of the Bearcats.
A lot of rain here because it's washed away their yard mark. You can barely see them. So.
Although it's not as bad as at Red Hill because that was a long way to see. Hill on the right side, and he's brought down by, it looks like, Elliot Morris, number 33.
And 21, I saw Dorian Reed
Dorian
out there.
Reed in there as well. So the freshman getting in on some quick action. No gain on the play. It's going to bring up 2nd down and 10 for the Bulldogs. Actually, a yard loss on the play.
We saw more play time from Elliot Morris last week, kind of stepping in a little bit more.
Yep.
That's good to see. Like I said, you got Dorian out there. Yeah. John Schlake is number 16. He's our so you do have freshmen contributing, and then Ace Abramson on the defensive line. So you've got 4 freshmen plugged in there with your other 7 sophomores is what you like to see.
Hill's in motion. It's going to be an inside tackle pass to him.
Stack that one up.
Nice job by the Bearcats once again. I see Spencer Pettit in the middle of that. Also, Bryden Huey.
Brian Bodendick.
Brian Bodendick was in there as well. Big number 75 for the Bearcats. So, once again, no gain on the play for the Bulldogs. It's very obvious that even though we have varsity running backs, they don't have their varsity line.
No.
And it is very obvious that they are struggling opening up the holes that they were getting Friday night.
We have a significant size advantage between Bodendick and Heflin.
Yes. It's Hill once again. He's going to go to the left side this time. Initially stopped by Bodendick. Bryden Huey, Procise, and who was the other one?
Heflin was the one. He's got that white long sleeve, 55.
Yes, okay, 55 is in there as well.
So this is going to play obviously to our advantage because if it takes 2 of their linemen to block Bodendick or to block Heflin, that's going to allow your linebackers to flow freely, make all these tackles, which is kind of what you want to see. So they're going to probably try to get us to jump off sides here. Hopefully we don't.
It's 4th and 7 for the Bulldogs. Ball's on the Bearcat 22-yard line.
They
false started.
They jumped.
Yeah.
So that's going to move them back 5. Which we jumped 2, but they went first.
I think ours was a result of their movement. That's going to move the ball back 5 yards. It's going to bring up 4th and 11 for the Bulldogs. Ball sitting at the 26-yard line. 3:07 left here in the first quarter. The Bearcats are up 7-0 over the Carmi White County Bulldogs.
This is where, they didn't pass much, so now you got to be alert for any type of trickery.
Yeah,
reverses,
play action, a reverse. They do run those counters a lot, end arounds, things like that. And going man in motion. It's going to go to the man in motion coming near side. He strung out. John Slakey was there. He forced him inside, and it was just waiting for Bryden Huey to clean that one up.
That's a perfect example of what we've talked about. Even at the varsity level, I know the coaches have been preaching it. Your job out there as that cornerback is to – it's not necessarily make the tackle, but it's to keep that guy from getting around you and getting the outside. You force it back into where all your players are to clean up that mess. Yeah. So John did his job.
He did a perfect job on that. It's going to be a turnover on downs for the Bulldogs. Bearcats come out on the 26-yard line, their own 26. First play of the game, nice little pass, crossing route, and went for big yardage. Let's see what we got this time. It's going to be...
Is that Farmer? Nope.
No. They bounce some numbers on us again.
That's Gunner Schlakey.
Yeah, that's Gunner Schlakey. That's right. They bump numbers between varsity and JV, and it gets confusing sometimes, folks. But yes, that was Gunner Schlakey. He picks up about 1.5 yards on the play. They're going to give him 2.
It's good that we missed him last week as well. So it's good to have your full complement of players available.
Absolutely, yeah. And I know you'd mentioned that Elliott kind of stepped up into that role last week, and whenever Gunner was absent, he was gone for illness. This is Bryden Huey. He stiff arms a defender, pushes him to the ground, carries him for a solid 4-yard run. It's going to bring up 3rd and 5 for the Bearcats.
When we ran, and unfortunately nobody got to see what great pass play. We had 2 guys open on that pass route that we ran, and Liam had the short option or the long option.
Yes.
He hit the short option for the first down,
Yeah.
so I think we'll be able to pass.
Yeah,
tonight.
I think that's going to be open. I know that play right there has been something they've been working on in practice over the last week or so. So it was good to see that come out. It is going to be a pass. Montgomery's rolling to his right. He's got a guy. He tucks it, and he's able – the ball came out, but he was down on the ground. He picks up a solid 3 on the play. Had nobody open. He did the right thing. He tucked that ball and took off with it. But he's just short of the first down marker. It's going to bring up 4th down and 2.
I'd go for it.
I'm thinking, I think we got a lead. I think we ought to go for it on this one.
And I don't know if
Yeah.
because Spencer's coming off, so I'm thinking we're in punt formation. It's a
But
tough
Logan's
one.
not out there, so Liam's making the call here. Watch Big 81, or number 80. That is.
I think that's Bear.
Is that Bear? Okay.
No, maybe, I'm not sure.
I think Bear is 81, and I think this might be Gio. I think he switched numbers, but it is a handoff on the inside, and we did not get it.
No, that was Gunner.
Yeah, that was Schlake on the handoff. He got back to the line of scrimmage, but it's going to be well short of the first down. So Bearcats are going to return the favor and turn the ball over on downs.
I don't mind. Like I said, I like the call to go for it because in JV football, you're 2 yards. 9 times out of 10, you should be able to get that. That falls right there on that play. That's your offensive line.
Yeah,
and I don't like to single them out, but there was no hole there.
Yeah, we have got to get a push. They're going to measure this one, so it may be a little closer than what we were thinking, folks. We'll see what the measurement. It all depends on the spot. This one's going to come up short. It does look like. Yeah, it's about a half a yard short. It was a better spot than I thought it was going to be, but still we came up a little short on that one.
The only thing I would do different in that play call is I'd have Bryden Huey.
Yep. Yeah.
I just, you're slowly getting Gunner back going after a week off. Bryden, can carry the load. He's your short yardage back.
Yep.
That's where I would have liked to see the ball go, but at the same time, your offensive line's got to get the job done.
And, we've had 2 offensive possessions here, and we've not seen Farmer with a carry yet. No. And I know last week was a struggle for us. That's about a 6-yard pickup for the Bulldogs, and then a whole bunch of Bearcats come in and stack him up and push him backwards. But forward momentum is going to give him a 6-yard gain, 2nd down and 4 from the 30. But I was saying we've had 2 possessions offensively, and we've not seen Farmer. And I know last week that it was not a good day to run the ball if you are a movement type running back. A north and south runner, yes, but if you're the type that relies on getting into the edge and then making your cuts, there just was no footing at all last week in Red Hill.
No. The kids even said, it just wasn't ideal conditions to play. So.
Yeah. But I'm just hoping that the coaches get back on the Farmer train, so to speak, here and give him the ball and let him do his magic on the outside a few times. Because, in all honesty, I think that he can have some more success on this Bulldogs defense.
Yeah. Our defense looks like it's holding up okay so far. I mean, we're Achilles' heels always don't give up the big play. When we lost to Red Hill, that's what happened. We gave up a big one.
We gave up a big play.
Our offense looks like it can move the ball. Again, Bryden's only gotten like 1 carry. You're mixing different backs, and I think, part of it's a hard job coaching because you got to get the rhythm going with everybody, and so they'll figure this out.
Absolutely. We are at the end of the first quarter here in Carmi. It is the Carmi Bulldogs 0 and your CZRE Bearcats 7. Going to be 2nd down and 6 for the Bulldogs. Ball's at the Bearcats 30-yard line. And we'll get ready for second quarter here in just a moment.
This is one of the nicer press boxes. We've always said Carmi definitely has one of the better ones.
Yep, we got our own little area here. We're not on top of each other. We can see the whole field, although they do need to clean the window here.
Yeah.
And it's going to be Hill on the left side. Yeah, that's let's see here who came up. I know it was number I'm pretty sure it was number 11 for the Bearcats. Is there
30 miles Bryden. I saw Bryden come all the way over.
Yeah, I saw a 1, so I'm going to assume that it was Dorian Reed. It was not Spencer on that one. I think it was Dorian Reed that was involved in that. Nope, there is. Yep, that's Dorian, number 21.
Yeah.
Yep. Like I said, all I saw was the 1 on the uniform, so. 3rd down and 5 for the Bulldogs, and it's going to go to Hill once again. He's got the outside. He's got one guy, cuts it back inside, and eventually he's wrestled down by Farmer, stacks him up. He drags some Bearcats with him, picks up another 5 yards. It's going to be 1st and 10 from the 15 for the Bulldogs.
Yeah, that guy's a load for a sophomore. I mean,
yeah.
it took 5 or 6 of them to bring him down. And
exactly.
You know, at first he got the ball because he's not got blazing speed. It doesn't look like, but
no.
I thought, well, as soon as he got that ball, I think, oh, man, somebody's going to fly up and clean that up, and he just...
Yeah. What I noticed from whenever at the varsity game the other night, I think he was listed at like 5'9", 150. But with the varsity game, he was hitting that hole so fast that our defensive linemen weren't able to even react. He was gone beyond them before they even had a chance to react to anything. It's going to be Hill once again. He's cutting his way through, and he's in for the score.
They're finding out real quick, Chuck, you can't arm tackle this guy. This is going to take a shoulder wrapping the legs. It's going to take 2 or 3 of you. And they just found out right there, and I'm sure that Coach...
Yeah, first guy has to wrap up and then hang on for dear life, wait for your other teammates to get there to finish it up, to clean up the tackle, so to speak. But right now, you're exactly right. Everybody's wanting to grab. Everybody's trying to arm tackle, and he's just going to run right through you.
And that's the downside when you do go forward like that and you don't get it. It's such a short field. So you can always second-guess yourself. But, I mean, I still like that we went for it.
I thought it was the right call. It's a botch play.
They're short.
Yeah, they're going to come up short on this one.
42 is Gio.
Yep, that's Gio. And so, you're correct. He was in on the tackle, and 2-point conversion is no good. So with 8:39 here in the second quarter at Carmi, it's the Carmi White County Bulldogs 6 and the CZRE Bearcats 7. We got the advertisements running up in the upper corner, so we're just going to stay live with you probably until halftime. Yeah. We're not going to take a break. These JV games go a lot faster than the varsity games. They're 2 minutes per quarter shorter.
I told Kane, I was like, can we get a running clock? I want to get to watch the Bears and the Commanders tonight on the ride home. I was like, can we wrap this up by 7:15 maybe?
Well, wishful thinking.
Wishful thinking, yeah. I know.
Carmi is set to kick off. It is going to be a low liner.
Ooh, good play. 57, that's Angel.
Yep. Angel's able to cover that one up. They was trying for the onside kick. He gobbled it up and fell to the ground. Very smart play.
Great field position for us to start with.
Yeah, we're going to start at the 46-yard line, our own 46, so right at midfield. Short field to work with here.
I'd like to see us – you know what I'd love to see us do? Hit a couple of plays up the middle.
Yeah.
Get Bryden, maybe Dorian. Then you could hit Farmer on a corner, or you could even – it sets up maybe a play action with Liam. So
right.
I really like hitting them up the middle first to kind of get their defense on their heels a little bit.
I think this might be your pass play right here. Nope, it's going to go to Gunnar Schlakey. He's on the right side. He's met at the line of scrimmage, but he keeps his feet moving, and he's able to pick up, drive the defenders back about 3-4 yards. They're going to give him a solid 4 yards on that one. So that's 2nd and 6, yeah.
That's the Coach Rude philosophy. Those don't know. Get four.
And we've talked about this on the varsity broadcast. You and I have talked about this in the JV broadcast. You give 4 every time, you're going to keep moving the chains. Yes. And that's the goal of football, move the chains.
You're right. We have not seen Farmer yet, so
no.
I imagine when he does get the ball, He may catch a
Headed
couple.
is wide to the near side, and it's going to be handoff. Here is Farmer. He's weaving his way through. He's hit hard after about right at the line of scrimmage, drove back a little bit. Depending on the spot, they're going to give him about 1.5 yards, maybe 2. It's going to bring 3rd down and 5 for the Bearcats. He tried to cut that one back inside. Coming to the short side, you got to let him have some room to work, and there was just too much congestion there. If you go to the big side of the field, because we're on the near hash mark right now, that opens more up for him. It gives him more lanes.
For those watching that watched Gage, that's what Gage Shlakey did in the varsity game Friday night. Gage had that whole sideline. He's playing the same position that Farmer plays, and you can see how Gage could really stretch that side of the field out.
This looks like pass formation, but no, it's going to be Huey getting the outside out off.
That's a first.
He's picked up the yardage for the 1st down. Pickup of 7 on the play for Bryden. And, again, moving the chains.
That's why I really like short yardage him, because he's angry runs.
Yes.
He is angry runs, which, we always joke about that. I said Hunter Hammonds.
Yeah.
Hunter Hammonds and Bryden, they're the same mold.
Yeah.
That they're not gonna make any slight moves. They're going to try to run you over. They enjoy the contact.
And this is the maturity that you're seeing out of Bryden Huey, because last year Bryden wanted to kind of dance, and he thought he was that finesse runner. After some conversations, I know him and I had a conversation. His dads have a conversation. It's Huey again on the left side. He's able to drive for another Bearcat 1st down. That's a solid pickup of 12 for Bryden.
But chewing it up.
Yeah, exactly. And as a freshman, Bryden would have tried to juke that guy right there. Whereas he's figured it out. He's a big, strong kid with speed. If he just puts his shoulder down and tries to run through people, he's going to have a lot more success than trying to dance around them.
Well, and that's kind of like you talked about when his dad. His dad played when I was a freshman, and his dad was running back. Same thing. His dad's style. He was very big. He was bigger than Bryden. But it was a lot of downhill running. I'm not going to make any type of do we got a penalty here?
It does.
Holding.
Yep,
okay.
It is a holding penalty.
I never saw a flag anywhere.
I did not see. That must have been on the far side because I didn't see it. So that's going to march it back 10 yards, and that's a spot of the foul penalty. So it's going to be 2nd down and 23 for the Bearcats. Ball is sitting right at the 50-yard line. So we were making good progress forward, and then we took about a 10-yard step back here. It's going to be 1st and 23. My apologies.
Couldn't even tell you who threw the flag.
I don't either. I did not see it.
This is pass play formation.
Yep.
Here.
And it is going to go to Farmer. He's hit immediately on the catch. It's a pickup of about 7. The ball spotted at the 45-yard line. So picked up about 5 yards. We need in this situation, you need about 7 per play just to get the chains moved. But
okay, now what I would go right back to Bryden Huey. You do a pass play. See if Bryden can get you 6 or 7 and make it very third.
And we're now on the far hash, so the open field, and we tend to like to run to our left side more than any. So this is going to bode well. And you see Farmer on that right side. It is going to be Farmer. No, another pass. Nice fake by Montgomery. Oh, and he's picked off. I don't know. The receiver just kind of stopped there. He just kind of watched that ball. He didn't try to work his way back. But number 2 for the Bulldogs was able to pick that pass off.
Well, we talk about mistakes and trying to avoid them. Last week, that was kind of, we know the weather was bad. That was kind of a bit of an Achilles heel. You can't call the 4th down failure a mistake, but it's failure to execute.
Yeah,
that's our first real mistake. But here's the thing: you got 5 minutes left. Your defense has got to step up and hold them.
1st and 10 for the Bulldogs up the middle.
And we're not doing a very good job of tackling. We did the first drive, and now our tackling is slacking a little bit. But that's what happens. You get tired. And instead of continuing to tackle the normal way, now you just start grabbing. You're trying to grab cloth. You're hanging on instead of driving. And I can see Coach Bays is fired up over there because I could see him after that yelling at his players because I think he realizes the same thing we do. you're tired, but that's part of like all your off-season stuff.
Exactly.
Your week 7 here.
It's not going to. You know what to expect at week 7. You're tired. You got to suck it up, and you got to make the plays. Stay to your technique. This is going to be Hill once again. He's able to pick up a solid 7 on that play.
All right, now our defensive line's getting dominated.
Yeah.
There was a huge hole right through there, and there was and he was up on our linebackers before our linebackers could even react.
Yeah.
So.
And what's probably going to, which we're rotating some linemen out right now, but what's going to end up having to happen is our safeties are going to have to step up further into the box to help plug those holes, and then that just opens up the opportunity for a pass play. And once again, it's going to be Hill going to the left side this time. Pickup of 7 on the play. Looks like...
So we got
Bryden Huey and Gunnar Schlakey on the tackle on the far side.
We're just under 4 minutes left to go here in the half. So this is really one of those you just got to keep them out. Find a way. They're going to get the ball back at half. Find a way to keep them out.
Yep.
They've got all 3 timeouts. Somebody's called a timeout here. And
nope. I think they moved the chains.
Or no, they called him out of bounds, I guess.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because the clock hadn't started yet.
Well,
It looked like movement there, but no penalty flag. Hill just keeps chugging through. He runs over a Bearcat.
And
actually, that was number 40. That's the first time we've called his number. He picked up 15 on that carry, and he just ran right over top of us.
You can see our safeties are making tackles now, which is never a good sign because you want your defensive linemen to get a hand. You want your linebackers. If your safeties are making tackles, that means that your defensive linemen are not plugging holes. Their linemen are able to get to the second level, which means they're blocking our linebackers because you want your linebackers to be untouched.
Yes.
And that's not happening right now, and so we got to pick it up here.
1st and 10 for the Bulldogs. Ball is at the 25-yard line. 32 in motion. He resets to the other end spot, and it looks like we do have a timeout. This is going to be Bearcats timeout, so that's the first timeout of this game.
You know, honestly, as we expected. It is somewhat of a quick-moving game because Carmi doesn't pass. So anytime they're just going to run, chew up clock. We throw a few passes here and there. We like to mix it in, but we're still fairly run heavy. So the game does move by fairly quickly here. I like our approach. It's a little different. We talk about, how do you approach a game when you're on fall break, you're off all day, you're not a routine of school. It's just like, hey, show up at 3:30. I mean, it seems
the routine for these boys is definitely off. But
it seems like, we came out, we've played good intensity. We don't seem like, lackluster. We seem to actually have a good approach going on out there. So I like the way we've come out and played so far. It's some simple things like your line executing their blocks and, you're
wrapping up on tackles.
Yeah.
And I think that timeout by Coach Gray was more of a breather than it was anything. Kind of just get a little reset here. All right, it's going to be 1st and 10 for the Bulldogs. Ball is at the 25-yard line. 7-6 in favor of the Bearcats. 3:14 left in this first half of football. Going to go to Hill, number 9. Once again, he bounces it to the outside, wrapped up by Spencer Pettit, but it's going to be a 5-yard pickup.
See, and that's what's frustrating because if you notice, that time the defensive lineman did their job. The hole was clogged. Oh, they're
going quick here, so they're trying to catch us off guard. It's going to go to Hill once again, his same exact play. This time we had Procyse that came in off of his corner spot, wrapped him up, and then we had Elliot Morris, we had Farmer, we had Bryden Huey all come in to finish off the tackle.
Okay, they tried to go quick, catch us off guard, and that backfired.
Yeah, exactly. It's going to be no gain at all on the play. Brings up 3rd down and 5 from the 20. Clock is running. It's down to 2:29 here left in the second quarter. And they're taking their time on this one.
Yeah,
You think they're calling 2 plays? Tried to do it again?
No, I'm going to say they're calling 1, but I think they're trying to make sure there's no time left on the clock to give us
run it as much as possible. And,
They
man, they're getting – that was a false start.
Yep, big time.
We had one earlier than I called it, but there was no flag. This one, it was pretty obvious, so they called that one. That's going to march it back 5 yards.
They did a better job than the officials on the Eagles game.
Oh, yeah.
Spotting the false start.
So that brings it to 3rd down and 10 for the Bulldogs. Ball at the 25-yard line of the Bearcats.
Okay, so this would be a big stop here. Clock's still running. We're under 2. You can get a stop here, on 3rd and long. It just helps your chance. Even if you don't get the ball back, you end the half with the lead. You can take positive momentum. We're playing well. We really are.
And they're playing that game. They get the ball coming out at halftime, so they're trying to get the score, leave no time on there for us. Bryden Huey on pursuit against Hill, and he catches him from the backside, and that's going to be another no-gain play. It's going to be 4th and 10.
And Logan Jackson, he filled in for Elliott Morris on this end. And Logan did the same thing. Didn't make the tackle, but he got upfield, forced the guy to go back inside, and then Bryden's there. That's what it's all about, stopping this offense. So this is a big play here. I don't mind us not calling a timeout either. I'm content. Let the clock continue to run. If it runs out, you're always going to take a lead in a halftime, especially when you're on the road at Carmi. You'll go in there with this lead. So I'm good. Just let the time keep running. Hopefully it'll stop.
Just got to get the stop here. It all depends right here on this play here.
Under a minute.
Yep. And it's going to go to the Hill once again. He's weaving his way through. He's going to come up short.
Yep, he's going to be short.
Yeah, that's well short of the 1st down. He probably got 5 yards on the play.
That's a great stand by our defense.
Yeah, there we go. The defense, they bent, but they didn't break on that one. So we have 52.5 seconds left in this half, and the Bearcats are taking over from their 15, let's see, what is that, 20?
Yep.
20-yard line.
I'm calling one play. I give a run, see what you do on the 1st down, then you can call timeout if you want. Put that screen play in your back pocket. We know that we like to run those screens, and we can run them really well. So I would say, depending on what you do on this 1st down, is whether or not is going to determine your next play, actually.
You got Gunner, Farmer, and Schlakey. The ball goes to Huey. He dances his way inside, picks up about 3, and the Bearcats do take a timeout. That's their 2nd of the half. They have 1 more left.
I would say if you don't gain much on this, because now Carmi's got all their timeouts.
Yeah.
And this is that cat and mouse game because you don't want to have to punt, especially from your own end zone, because then you risk things like a bad snap, fumbled snap, bad punt.
Return. So, I thinking try to keep the ball, maybe try to get the outside edge, get Farmer on the outside. If you do get the 1st down, and obviously you're going to probably call timeout to preserve some time, get the boys back set up on the line of scrimmage. You don't get the 1st down, you probably are going to let it run as much as you can.
Yeah.
And like you said, we'll see if Carmi calls the timeout.
If I'm Carmi and we don't get much on this down, I'm calling my timeout.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm forcing that punt. A lot of bad things can happen on special teams. I just heard someone say
somebody just called watch the halfback pass because we ran that Friday night to perfection. So I don't think we have that play in for the JV look, but it's possible. It is going to be a pass. It's going to be the flea flicker, though.
Hook and ladder.
Hook and ladder here. Hook and
ladder. Got out of bounds, but I don't think he got the 1st. We just didn't have enough sideline. That's the only downfall from a hook and ladder play. Obviously, for those that don't know, the hook and ladder, you throw it to wide receiver, and he pitches it to a running back coming out of the backfield. They call it the hook and ladder. But you really want to have the whole sideline, and he pitched it perfect to Gunner. Schlakey, it's just that, we're right there.
There was no room to run. We ran that same play at Red Hill, and John Schlakey, or not John, it was John. He had a nice little run. He tried to stop and make a cut. They're on the sideline, and he just hit the wettest part of the field and kind of hydroplaned on out of bounds.
We need a 1st down here to avoid punting.
It's going to be Huey. He's tackled in the backfield, makes one guy miss, drives another two, and he's got the first down. That's tough running right
Clock
there.
will stop at 34.2. You got to get up and get on it. You got to get up on the ball, boys.
Let's go. Movement, fellas. Move.
I know. I see Kane. He's hollering at the line. He's screaming at him. Liam's screaming at him. Get set. Spike it.
Well, that took about,
9 seconds.
There was 9 seconds, and then the clock operator let another 2 roll off before he stopped it.
But, for these guys, that's, a couple of them are where I saw Kane screaming at his lineman. I saw Liam screaming at the backs to come in and get set. And that's just something a lot of times you practice that sometimes in practice, but you don't practice it that often. And you're wanting to save that last timeout. Now, like I said, even though they've got 3 timeouts, 25 seconds, whole playbook's open. I mean, you can throw anything, you can run anything.
It's going to be a rollout. Montgomery to his right. He hits Pettit right at the sticks. That's close to a first down, and Pettit keeps fighting.
I'd call our last time out because you got the ball at about midfield.
Now, Pettit caught that ball right at the 45-yard line. He was drove back by the defender and then trying to fight for the yards. Well, they spotted him short of that first down, even though he caught it. And so he did not get any forward progress at all on that play.
And say hello to a few people out there listening. I know I got my fellow school board member, Jared Ferez. He's sitting there talking to me, talking about how good our JV looks and our varsity. Of course, Austin and Samantha Laux. Austin's always my second set of eyes, I tell him sometimes, because I can't see, and he's like telling me everything when I'm zoomed in. So hello to both of them, obviously. So and we brought a decent little, more than we did to Red Hill.
Well, for obvious reasons.
It's not raining.
My wife complained about you being wet the whole game. I didn't understand why she was so upset. I was perfectly dry.
I asked him, I said, why are you guys so wet?
Exactly. He was all complaining about it, and I just didn't understand. I'm glad she doesn't listen to the go back and rewatch this.
We'd both be riding home together.
Yeah, no kidding.
Oh, and of course, I'll say it after this play from one more person who's watching.
15.8 left here in the first half. Bearcats are 3rd down and 3. It's going to be a reverse. This is to Farmer. He makes his way inside. He gets the first down, brought down at the 49-yard line. 10.4. They're going to restart this as soon as the chains are the ball's placed and the chains are in place. They will start it. We're already up the line. Clock is ticking with 8 left. And we got a false start, it looks like.
Yeah, because unfortunately, the lack of awareness on, and I get it. Yeah. Like 3 of our linemen are they're
just standing there. They're not. There's no sense of urgency. And like you said, I know Kane is trying to get them all set. I know Liam's trying. He's in a tough situation. He's got to make sure that everybody's set. But then again, he's watching the clock moving and.
There's just a sense of urgency, and again, this is hard. It's hard. That's why That's why you play JV football, to learn, make these mistakes, or learn from this. So the next year, and the clock's already stopped or started. Yeah, we're not even going to get the play off.
And nope.
Which I thought. Yeah, they do wind it after a penalty.
Yeah.
Which that's kind of on us too. We should have been up at the line with the play already set to go. And so I think there is. Because it looks like there's a little confusion.
Yeah, both teams are still kind of hanging out there. Now they're starting to make their way to the locker room.
That's sometimes, like I said, JV's all about learning. Before we go to take a break, I want to say there's one other person listening. He has always been our help in the booth, getting everything set up. It's our man, Luke Sager, storm predictor, doing all of our you hear him all during our home games and our home JV games. He sends me a message. Of course, he's got to he calls me yesterday. Wasn't expecting it. I get a FaceTime, and only time I really FaceTime with Luke is during one of these settings.
We're trying to get things set up because we couldn't figure it out.
What's he doing? And of course, he calls me, and he's like, then he zooms around, and he's at Lambeau Field, and he was like, "Oh, I just wanted you to see what it's like to be." And so, me and Kane are sitting there laughing because I'm like, "Oh, look where Luke Sager's at." So he's still watching us all the way from the frozen tundra. Still had to call him to help us with that.
He bailed us out once again. we've set this up multiple times. I have, and every time it seems like there's something that goes wrong, and we call Luke and he bails us out. So, hey, we are at halftime here in Carmi. It's the Carmi White County Bulldogs 6 and your CZRE Bearcats 7. We're going to take a short break here, and we'll be back here in just a moment. All right, we are back here in Carmi. 50 seconds left in the halftime. Both teams are just finished up getting stretched back out. The score is the Carmi White County Bulldogs 6 and your CZRE Bearcats 7. Started off first series of the game. First pass went for a huge gain. Unfortunately, nobody got to saw that except for you and I, anyhow. We were having some issues with getting things set up. We were able to punch it in 2 plays later, and then we kicked the extra point. Logan Jackson kicked the PAT, gave us that early 7-0 lead. Defensively, we were looking good early on. Our line was kind of establishing their dominance. But this Carmi offense is led by number 9, Hill. He was a varsity starter Friday night, and their line is starting to open up some holes for him, and he's able to exploit those really well. There at the very end, we were able to get a couple of stops, key moments, but this defense is going to have to go back to fundamental. They're going to have to wrap up, make sure you wrap him up, and then everybody flow to the ball and contribute on the tackles.
The best way to start off this half is get your defense out there, get the stop, get the ball back, and go down and score.
Yeah,
put some pressure on them here.
And we're about ready to go. Logan Jackson is ready for the kick. He's positioning himself. There's the whistle, and here we go to start the second half of football. It's a short kick, goes right to the front line, and number 26 for the Bulldogs is able to recover it. Bulldogs are going to start at their own 49-yard line.
I
know what you're getting ready to say.
I'd rather kick that one deep. Especially start the half. Now they've only got to go 50 yards. You're not fooling anybody.
Right.
They probably.
I'm okay if you're kicking it short. If you're trying to get it down the sideline, and you got your gunners trying to get after it. That one was right at a short-handed guy, defender or receiver, so to speak. This is number 40. He's a freshman, if I remember correctly. He has 7 different Bearcats trying to make the tackle on him, and he was able to push him for a solid probably 3 more yards after initial contact.
He had 2 linemen, had a couple of linebackers on him. He had half the team.
Yeah.
But that's the disadvantages when those onside kicks don't work. You're only having to go 50 yards.
Right. And I understand there's more factors going into this than what we're aware of. But number 21, he breaks through a hole. Spencer Pettit's trying to fight him to get him down. Eventually, we got Bryden Huey and John Schlakey, as well as Spencer Pettit, and Procyse is in on the tackle as well. But that's a huge gain. That's probably a 17-yard gain for the Bulldogs.
21 was a varsity back.
Yeah, 21 was
unless they've changed their JV numbers, which I don't know.
No, because the one that's hurt, number 5, he's down here too. I think they're the same numbers. They had freshmen on their roster, so I don't see why they would change uniforms. But yeah, I agree with you. He was one of their 3 main running backs. Number 21 was. So was number 9, and then of course 5 on the sideline. Here's the snap. It's going to go to 21 once again. He makes it up to about the 25, and then several Bearcats are there to tie him up. Dorian Reed, John Schlakey, and looks like Logan Jackson in on that tackle.
It's going to be third and about 5?
Yeah, let's see where they mark it. Closer to 6, about third and 6. So he picked up a solid 4 on that play.
Or this is 2nd and 6. I'm sorry.
Second, yeah, no, it's 2nd and 6. My fault too. 7-6 in favor of the Bearcats. We are just started in the second half. It's 8 minutes and 21 seconds remaining. The Bulldogs started with a short field. They're down to the 25. It's going to be a handoff to number 21 again. He's initially tackled. We got a handful of shirt, and he's just able to pull him like a sledge. Picked up another 2 yards on the play.
My old defensive, we got timeout. For measurement, maybe?
Shoe. I don't know.
My old defensive coach, Warren Rice, would have had a fit if he was watching that game, that play. He hated when you had somebody by a jersey and they're stood up there and somebody has to come. He always say, somebody needs to come lay that person out. They're an open target, and that was a prime position.
There was a penalty on the play. Again, I never saw a flag. It is going to be holding against the Bulldogs.
I think they left their flags at home because that's the second penalty we've seen called. We've had a pretty clean game, but that's the second penalty we had called.
Yeah.
I don't see anybody.
And I've not seen any cloth on the ground. Unless they brought the green flags out. I mean, that's the only thing I can see. It's going to bring up 2nd down and 16 for the Bulldogs. They're calling a 17 on the scoreboard. And it's going to go to 21 once again. Forced inside by John Schlakey. He did his job. We've talked about that multiple times. He forced the runner back inside. Bryden Huey was coming in. Lucas Grogan from that safety position. He came in to help to clean that one up as well. Probably no gain at all on that play, if any, a yard.
We got another penalty.
Okay, well, I do see it, and it is not a very bright-looking flag. Another hold against Carmi.
We declined that one. I agree.
Yeah, I agree with that. It's already 3rd and long to begin with, and the down is more important right now.
Yep.
Because if we gave it to him, it'd have been 2nd and 26 versus 3rd and 16. So in this situation, that's the right call for sure. Of course, if they pick up the first down, we both are going to complain, but that's just on the defense if they do that. That's not on the coaches. All right, it is 3rd down and 16. Ball on the 35-yard line of the Bearcats. It's going to go to 21. He's forced outside again.
So who had the initial?
Well, I'm looking, and that was Logan Jackson who made the initial contact. He had him 3 yards back in the backfield, and he just missed the tackle. I mean, he hit him, but he didn't wrap up, and he bounced off.
But the good thing was he still managed for a lot. It's 4th and 19.
Yeah,
I'm sure are they going to?
They're going for this, it looks like. It's 4th down and 19. Ball is sitting at the 38-yard line, and
this is where if you're Carmi, you're hoping for pass interference. I don't.
Well, even the worst penalty we could get, still, unless it's an automatic first down, would not give them the yardage. It's 4th and 19. Yeah, they're going to try to get some of it here, and be careful with the offsides. They're going to try to draw us, no doubt. 14 goes in motion, and is him on the right side. He goes airborne over a defender.
And that's
picks
fine.
up about 9 yards on the play, but he is stopped well short of the sticks there.
And your defense is playing differently on that play. When
it's
4th and long, your linebackers aren't cheating up as much because you don't want to let anything over the top. So you're going to give up.
Yeah.
You're fine giving up 7-8 yards on that run because it doesn't matter. So well played, well executed. Granted, the penalty helped us, but that's part of football. You hold. And we took advantage of their mistake, and that's now we want to capitalize on their mistake. So it's time for offense to get out there. 6:09 here in the 3rd.
Bearcats take over on downs. It's going to be 1st and 10 from their own 32-yard line. Montgomery under center. And snap. It's a handoff to Huey. He's going to go left side, maybe 2 on the carry.
You know, I was looking. Carmi doesn't have a ton on their JV roster either. Like, they've got 11 on the field, and I counted, I think, as far as helmets go, 9 on the sideline. I mean, there are only 20 players on their roster for JV, and, I mean, they're really hurting on some numbers.
Just by the size of them, they look like an awful lot of freshmen that are on the sideline. Because there's a few of them that they're just not they're not hit their spurt yet, their growth spurt.
And I know they said they've been hit by the injury bug this year. But
it's going to be Schlakey. He cuts it back up the middle. He makes one guy miss, and he fights his way through the middle of the Bulldogs defense, picks up about 7 on the play. Good for a Bearcats first down.
You know, when we talked about last year when we were in this booth, you know, Kurt Simon retired. He was a long-time Carmi Hall of Famer, long-time Carmi head coach. when you go through a change at coaching, especially when you lose somebody, of his stature, it has an impact. I mean, the only place we really see where it can benefit, Johnson said he's rolling along like a machine. They changed coaches, but Todd Thomas is still on the staff.
Yeah.
Coach Wingo at CZRE done an excellent job. I'm going to give him all the kudos. He's done an excellent job at CZRE replacing 2 Hall of Famers.
Yes, but wasn't he on staff as well?
He was on staff.
So that helps a lot. And, a lot of times whenever you do have a new head coach come in, the kids aren't necessarily buying into the new versus what the old. This is Slakey going to weave his way through. He picks up a solid 4 on the play. Brings up second down. They're going to give him 3, it looks like. Yeah, second down and 7 for the Bearcats. Ball is sitting at the 45-yard line. So, as usual, our run game is just 4, 5, 6 yards at a time. Yeah. Keep moving forward. Pick up the first down. Keep the chains moving.
To finish my point on coaching is you look at the difference it's made over here at Christopher.
Yeah.
I mean, it's changed the whole dynamic in a positive way.
Yep. Handoff is going to Morris. He's got an edge. He busted back to the inside. He's got 2 guys. I think if he'd kept running instead of trying to cut that back, he would have had an even bigger gain. But still, 20-yard carry for Morris brings it all the way to the Bulldogs' 30-yard line. Nice play.
That was his best run of the year.
Yes.
And when he got in open space, which he's got some speed too.
Yeah, and here's the thing. I don't know if he was watching or not. He hit the hole hard. He didn't try to dance his way to the hole. He hit his way hard, and then once he got out of the open field, he tried to make a guy miss.
Well, and I think what we're starting to see here, again, Carmi don't have a lot of subs.
Yeah, kind of like Friday night. They got tired on us. This is going to be Huey going to the left side. He picks up maybe 1 yard. Yeah, I agree with you. I think they're starting to wear down a little bit.
Well, and you got to think, if some of these guys played Friday night,
all the game,
and then you're turning around 3 days later, and now you're having to play. I mean, and you're doing this 7 weeks.
Yeah.
It takes a toll. Sometimes you can be in the best shape, but you're still going to get tired out there.
And I don't care how old you are or how young you are, you're going to wear down after a while. The body can just take so much. They give Huey a yard on that one, so it's going to bring up second down and 9. And this time it's going to go to Logan Jackson. He brings it up to the 30-yard line, and then he's wrapped up immediately.
I thought there was more there. It looked like there was a hole, and then all of a sudden it closed.
It closed really quickly.
Because I thought for a second, I was like, man, he's going to get there. Mm-hmm. And that's a no-gain run. So we're seeing some different running options here.
Well, unfortunately, I saw Gunnar Schlakey. He walked off the field, and he's kind of on the. He came off earlier, and he was kind of holding his side a little bit. So he may be tired. He may have gotten a little bit of a stinger. But he's back in there now. He's to the left side, and it's going false start there.
Offsides on the defense.
It's going to be offsides against the defense. Very good. We'll take that 5.
Thank you. We'll take that. That's going to make this third down a lot more manageable.
Yeah.
The one I'm not seeing, and I think we talked about this at halftime, I think Farmer is not available this half.
Yeah.
I don't see it. He doesn't have a top on, so I think that's why in that play you're seeing
some different guys
Elliott, but it's a next man up philosophy, and
Absolutely.
Elliott showed on that play a couple. Give me the ball.
Yeah, exactly. And I know Elliott's got some speed to him as well. Right now, it looks like you got Lucas Grogan, and you have Gunnar Schlakey as well as Dorian Reed in the backfield. And it goes to Reed. He's going to fight his way through. He gets it all the way up to the 25-yard line, but that's going to be short of the first down.
This is a big fourth down here.
Yeah.
I mean, I really feel like we got 1:10 left. Because here's the thing, it's 7-6. If we can go down, score here, and get the 2 point. Now you made it a 2-possession ball game with 1 quarter left to go. So this is a huge play. I'm going back to my bread and butter. I'm going to Bryden Huey, and I'm going to run him right off tackle, and I'm going to tell Bryden.
Side, you got all the room.
You need 4 yards, Bryden.
Give me 4 every time. Those of you watching at home, bear with us on the clock. It says there's 4 minutes left. Actually, there's 43 seconds left in this quarter.
Coach Sager, Luke Sager's helping us out.
He's not in state right now, and he's trying to do all of this from where he is at. So handoff goes to
Gunner's not going to be there. Boy, that's a missed opportunity.
Yeah, I would have liked to see that bounce outside.
I feel like he kind of, just the hole, it was a hard hole, wasn't really a big hole, but it didn't feel like he really was able to hammer the hole, like get all of his speed. And I think that's why on those short yards, I like Bryden, because Bryden does not look to make a cut. It's the ball and it's straight ahead.
Yeah.
And you don't need much. You don't need many yards. And, some of these other backs are more little finesse backs. Gunner's got he's got a little more speed. I would like to see Bryden get that one, but that's okay. Now your defense has got to step back up. Got to get a stop here.
25.5 seconds left here in the third quarter. Bulldogs take over on downs.
Somebody is jumping off.
Yeah, they are really quick. That right guard, he goes early every single snap, and they've called it twice, but he does it almost every single play.
I mean, and it's obvious.
Yeah. Pickup of 6 for the Bulldogs. They're going to bring up 2nd and 4. Clock is winding down. There's 2 seconds left here in the quarter. The Bulldogs are going to let this clock run out. We're going to start the fourth quarter here in Carmi. At the moment, it's the Carmi White County Bulldogs 6 and your CZRE Bearcats 7. So far, it's not necessarily been a defensive game, but both defenses have stepped up when it's mattered.
I feel like that last drive was a missed opportunity.
Yeah, I agree.
To put the game away, because if you've noticed, our defense has not given up anything more than I think we gave up like a 17-yard run. We've not given up the big play. So if you score there, worst case, okay, you don't get the extra point. It's 13-6. You're still up 7.
Yeah.
You get the 2-point conversion. Now you're up 2 scores. Does Carmi have the ability to score twice in 10 minutes, along with us getting a possession in there to run down some clock? I don't think they do. Yeah. So I hate that we didn't capitalize, and it was we had 3 shots at it from 5 yards. It's just
and both teams right now are relying heavily on the run, so that's going to eat clock up as well. I think the Bearcats have 3, maybe 4 pass attempts in this game. We had 2 completions, we had winning completion, and we had an interception late in the second quarter. But yeah, I agree with you. I felt that was just a missed opportunity. Again, we mentioned this earlier. This is why it's JV football. This is why we are here. These kids, every one of them are a freshman or a sophomore. And, for some of them, this is either their first or second year of playing any type of organized football whatsoever. So it's a learning curve for our varsity program.
Yes.
And that's the point.
Yeah, because like I said, we've seen spurts of where these guys have gotten some playing time. Spencer Pettit's had some, Bryden, Gunner. I know Kane, Liam, Logan on some extra points with some special teams. So they've got their moments, but this is building all towards to finish out this year with a good varsity year and then build towards next year. You're building something.
Pitch out number 14. Try to arm tackle. Lucas Grogan finally tackles him down at the 46-yard line. Pickup of about 12, maybe, I'm going to give 16 for the running back for the Bulldogs.
And the thing about this JV team is their record is not really indicative of the team. They're a good team. Our JV team is a very good team. We have lost a couple of games by one. I mean, you think of Red Hill game. We think of El Dorado game. I mean, they're right there in every ball game.
Once again running. Procise has initial contact. 21 just keeps driving and keeps driving.
And see, now the momentum shifted. They got the stop. They've got momentum. You hear their sideline. They're squawking a little bit, talking. It's taken multiple guys to bring them down. So, now this is I think
Procise is a little shaken up on that play. 45 is coming in to take his place. I'm not sure who 45 is, folks. My apologies. 14 on the carry to the left side.
No, they're not doing anything special.
No, there's just power football right at this moment. They're running left, they're running right. It's right between the tackles, either side of the tackle.
And we're subbing because you can tell now we're tired.
Yep.
You know, I'm seeing a lot of our defensive starters are having to take a break, come out.
Mm-hmm.
We got measurement? Nope, first down. 8:33 left on the clock. Like I said, this is going to come down just like it feels like the Red Hill game all over again. Like,
yeah.
It's a close game. It's going to come down to, a possession here or there. See,
there's another one, but they.
Oh, and he's gone.
He's gone. That's a touchdown. But that should not be because 2 of the 3 running backs in the backfield jumped early.
Yeah.
And the referee who's standing behind just sat and watched it. It seems like almost every single possession or every snap, there is somebody in a maroon jersey that is about a half a beat early on the snap.
And I know a lot of people are watching. I always tell people, hey, send me some comments. And, one of our astute observers, Coach Bradley down there, he kind of, he said, it looks like our D-line's wearing down a little bit, and that's when you start standing up. You fire out, you got to get in the gaps, and it seems like maybe that's what we're missing a little bit right there is we need to, get a little lower, fire out.
Yeah, and then the Bearcats jump off sides on that one, so that's going to move the ball half the distance to the goal line for this 2-point PAT.
And this is a big one. It's 12-7 here. We hold them here. A touchdown, you have to worry about the extra point, at 12-7, so.
So this PAT is going to be at the 1.5-yard line versus the 3-yard line. The way these Bulldogs have been running, it's which side, left or right?
Well, I'd go right back to the left. That's where you had all that success at.
I think it's going to go right. Oh, quarterback keeper. He's driving, and he makes it in.
Oh, boy.
Yep, so that brings the score 14-7 in favor of Carmi White County. 8:19 left here in the final quarter of play.
Now you got to respond. Now, last week against Red Hill, we drove, we had a couple of unfortunate mistakes. You want to respond. Now's a chance to say, because, I don't think we're going to kick the extra point. In my honest opinion, we go down with score, we're going to go for 2.
I agree. We're not going to play for a tie or for a sudden death. I think Coach Gray's going to go for it, in my opinion.
Maybe we'll get a special teams run back here. Spencer Pettit had a good one in the varsity game where he come up and fielded that. He had a good one last week. I imagine they're going to probably kick it onside.
I see Dorian Reed in second level, Lucas Grogan in that second level, Elliott is in that second level.
Okay, it's getting to Spencer. Pick it up and go.
He's got some room. He kind of dances his way up, picks up another 5 after the initial touch.
The biggest problem with those run backs is when you can't field it cleanly, because the way it's kicked and it's squibbed and you have to run it makes it so hard. When you can catch that on the run.
It's simply because you're now having to scan the field. Once you do get a solid grip on it, you're scanning the field to see where things are, and by that point, everybody's on top of you.
So not terrible field position, but not really great either. What are we at, the 37?
Yes.
8:13 left to go.
Morris at one wing back. It looks like Jackson at the other, and it is Bryden Huey. It's going to go to Morris. He's going to get to the edge. He dances his way outside, makes it back to the line of scrimmage. That closed in a hurry for him as well.
I just think when the way I've watched this game unfold and I've watched their players, I feel like this is a game that would suit more of getting Bryden up the ball because their defense is reacting pretty quickly. Yeah. And if you slow down to make a cut or anything, they've got 3 or 4 guys. And I feel like I wish we would just go straight ahead at them.
I agree.
And just see what we can do.
Well, you look 14-21.
I mean, they're
on this side, play varsity defense.
They're stacked in the box, too.
This is going to be Schlake. He gets maybe a yard on the play, and he's brought down. It's going to bring up 3rd down and 8 for the Bearcats. Ball sitting right at the 40-yard line. 7:17 left here in the final quarter.
And I hate to say, like with 7:17, like, would you go for it? But I almost feel like I don't know if you're going to get the ball back.
I was going to say, I think you have to. This Bulldogs offense, they're picking up chunk yards. We're not able to tackle them for a loss here in the second half. 3rd and 7. Are you looking pass? Are you looking handoff? It's going to be a pass. Montgomery rolls to his left. Ball is tipped at the line of scrimmage and picked off, number 3. And a little frustration tackle by Montgomery. He drove the receiver out of bounds hard, and he himself is slow getting up. Yeah, that ball was tipped at the line of scrimmage, and it just floated right into a defender's hands.
Before I was trying to decide, you said, what would you do in hindsight 2020? I was going to suggest, like, hand off to Bryden, see if you can get 3 or 4, and then you have, if it's 4th and short, then you get a whole playbook to look at. But that's okay. Now, like I said, we've not created a turnover all night.
No.
They've got 2, we have none. So we need to create something here.
Fumble on the play. Quarterback picks it up.
Oh, man.
And he just runs right up the middle, picks up an 8 on a broken play.
That can't happen.
No.
That cannot happen. And now we got a flag, which is going to be on, I believe it's on one of our players. It's unsportsmanlike.
Yep.
Yeah, because one of our kids is coming up. There's a frustration penalty. Yeah. And that makes that now that's a dead ball foul. So now that's going to be tacked on after the play. So now it's going to be an automatic first down. They're going to get 15 yards.
Yep.
That just – I know you're frustrated, and I get it. Guys, it's not – but you can't let your emotions get the better of you.
So what are we doing here? There's no movement of the ball.
Flag's still on the ground.
There we go.
Sportsmanlike. Oh.
Both teams.
Both teams. Okay.
Offsetting. Okay. Got a little chippy there, I guess, and both teams penalized on that one. So it's going to bring up 2nd down and 5 for the Bulldogs. Clock is stopped with 6:31 left here in Carmi. Bulldogs are up 14-7, and the clock just now starts rolling again, so 6:30 and counting.
And any type of score, I hate to say this, is really going to put this game. Yeah. I don't. There's not enough time left, I think, for us to get 2 scores.
Looks like we got Bud Laux in the backfield playing safety right now. He's in pursuit, and number 40 just bust off the opposite side, untouched for the touchdown.
And this is just a prime example. They wore us down.
Yep.
It went the opposite way where it looked like when we're driving downfield, I was like, okay, they're wearing down.
Yeah.
You know, score. When you score, sometimes that other team just kind of like, I hate to use the word quit, but that's kind of what happens. Is another team just like folds, and it went the complete opposite way tonight.
Right.
And these last 2 drives, our defense is just, they've just run right over us. And this is frustrating because we played such a good half and such a good third quarter even.
Right.
It's just we've collapsed.
Yeah,
in
this final fourth quarter, I was going to say, finally called it. One of the Bulldogs running backs, he took off early. They called it this time. It's been happening quite often tonight, but at least they made the call this time. That's going to march him back 5 yards for the PAT. So.
Just the last couple of weeks, it's been frustrating because this team is there. I mean, they're showing signs. They show glimpses of how good they can be. And wait till this plays over.
Coming to the near side, just following his blockers, and in for the 2-point conversion, number 14. He was not touched until he crossed the goal line.
And it's like I said, this team, JV team, shows, flashes of it. But they can't put a full game together for the most. I mean, you look at the Flora game. When we played against Flora, we had a really good second half and a really good fourth quarter. We didn't put it together in the first quarter. You look at Johnson City. We played well the whole game, but it's like we're missing that final push, and that's, again, we talk about. That's where JV football comes into play. That's where your coaches are going to coach up. Again, you can look at this and be like, okay, there's plenty of pieces in this JV team that's going to help that varsity team moving forward. I mean,
and there's going to be some guys that's going to have to take a big step forward. And you and I talked about it off air. There's several that they're not seeing a bunch of time on the varsity level, but they're going to be relied on heavily next season. So get the reps, learn the game now, and prepare for next season is really the focus. This is going to be a deep kick. It's over everybody's head, goes all the way down to the 15-yard line before Pettit is able to pick it up. He's kind of finding nothing to go on that far side. He does make it out to about the 20-yard line. We call it the 22-yard line.
And again, that's one of those, you got to expect they're going to kick it deep. There are 2 scores. Now, what's the hurry? He runs one back. We're still up.
Yeah, they're still up, and they get the ball. And, they definitely can eat 4 or 5 minutes up. So it's 5:53 left here in the final quarter. Bearcats will be taking over. We've got a discussion with the referees. I'm not sure what's going on here. All right, that's just a conversation amongst themselves, I guess.
Well, like I said, this team's got 2 weeks left too, the JV. Our varsity, we got 2 weeks of regular season left. Our varsity's got Fairfield at Fairfield this Friday, so hopefully the whole town closes down and shows up to Fairfield to bring all the cowbells and it's going to be at the train yard.
Well, I guess there was a penalty because now the ball's spotted at the 34-yard line. So that about a 10-yard penalty or whatever it may have been. Never saw an indication and never saw a flag.
Nope. And now we're going to have more discussion. And their head coach is out on the field.
Only thing I could think of is possibly they were offsides whenever they kicked it. I didn't see anything on the tackle.
I mean, the coach is,
maybe
I hate to say
mask.
this, but the coach is nickel and diming over 5 yards in the fourth quarter of a JV game. Just let them spot the ball and let's go.
1st and 10 for the Bearcats. Ball's at about the 33-yard line. Handoff is going to go to, I believe that was Huey.
And the holes are just closing. It's just, like I said, all momentum swung on that failed 4th down conversion, and we've not gotten it back. And you're at the point where if you don't get the 1st downs here, they take over, and I mean you're close to kneel down territory.
Yeah, clock running at 5:27 left here. 2nd down and 8 for the Bearcats. The ball is at the 35-yard line. It's going to go to Logan Jackson. He goes to the right side, and he stopped about a yard back in the backfield.
I'm not running to that right side because it's just not happening there.
No, you got to try the other side.
I mean, they're just stacking bodies right there. Like I said, this is going to be a frustrating end of the game. If you're going to look at this and you're like, man, 1st through the 3rd, if you're like, you're Coach Gray, Coach Page, you're going to go look at this game, you're going to be like, man, the 1st through the 3rd, that's the videotape you love to watch. That's where you like to show these guys all the good things they did, and then that's where you delete it after that.
Yeah, you stop before you reach that 4th quarter on tape. Loss of 1 on the play is going to bring up 3rd and 9 for the Bearcats. It's going to be a passing down, and indeed it is. Montgomery has Pettit over the middle and just overthrew him, just out of his reach.
And obviously you're going to go for it, you have no choice here, but it's going to be, we got 4th and 9?
Yeah, and I'm going to be honest with you, with the looks that were there, I go right back to that play again.
Well, that looked like similar to the play that the first play of the game when we hit Huey in stride.
Yeah. Pettit, if the ball would have been a little bit more online, Pettit had plenty of room to work through the middle of the field. They're kind of playing soft in that regard. It is going to be a pass play. Montgomery drops left. He hits Pettit once again. The ball's tipped in the air and picked off by number 32. He's gone the sideline and finally brought down by Elliott Morris. That ball tipped in the air once again, and it was a defensive tip drill on that one.
Well, when you're down, you're forced. You're down. It's fourth down. You're forced to kind of have to force some throws or force things that you probably wouldn't do if the game was closer. And so obviously, now you're kind of looking at with 4:08. Your backs are up against it, so you're kind of into. You know what Carmi's going to do. They're going to run, try to run the clock out. There's only 4 minutes left, but it's been a frustrating quarter. I can tell, and there's going to be a lot of unhappy players, coaches, but I don't want it to take away from the performance because they really did an excellent job.
We played really good 3 quarters. 14 is going to go through the left side. He's finally dropped down short of the goal line.
And you see what I mean, and I know those are watching or still watching. These plays now were plays that we were stopping earlier, and now it's chunk plays.
Yeah.
But, with all that being said, we talk about the varsity. We got Fairfield at the train yard. That is not an easy place to play, as we know. They are a very good team. So it's going to be a great challenge. It's going to I think it's a good measuring stick game for us. We've really played some good football the last couple of weeks. This is going to kind of give us an idea, tell us where we're at.
Right, we're at, yep.
And then we're going to finish the year
on the road at
Edwards County. So we got 2 long road trips, obviously. And there was a holding penalty.
Yeah, that was a 10-yard holding penalty. I was just waiting for you to get done.
But, like I said, there's a lot to be excited about CZRE football in general. I mean, you got to be happy. These kids are talking about, hey, I'm happy to wear these shirts again. I'm happy to, people can't be saying stuff to us all the time anymore. I mean, I had, when I was having conversations, they were even saying, like, we'd go play a team in basketball or we'd go play a team in baseball or something, and they could make one comment about football. He goes, we didn't have anything to we just had to take. And he's like, it's not there anymore. We don't have to listen to it. We've put together a good, successful varsity season, and the JV is having success as well.
Yeah. And it's not showing up in the wins and losses.
It may not show up in
but the skill level is getting better.
And
we're learning.
And
the
I've
game.
said this: we are really good. I think we have a really solid varsity team, really good team. I think that we can even be just as good, if not better, next year too, because we were stacking kids, we're stacking talent. Our numbers in the program, they're growing. The kids have completely bought in. Yep. So a lot of good things.
Handoff comes to the right side this time. Still going.
They're not doing anything special. They're content to just run the clock out using some simple dives. They're taking up their time. And you're getting some subs, and you're getting some of your guys, maybe some of your freshmen, other people that haven't practiced or do a lot of practice. Now they're getting some game minutes in. That's kind of nice to see too.
Yep. Looks like.
Yeah, they're running
Hudson
every bit.
Anderson just checked in.
They're running every bit of that 40-second play clock down. We're under 2 minutes to go here. I really
quarterback's just waiting for their coach to signal to him, now they've started the 10-second countdown, so he snaps the ball. Going to go the right side, number 21 this time. Logan Jackson and Bryden Huey finally bring him down short of the goal line.
I really think that their coach is trying not to score on us at the end.
Yeah.
I think he recognizes it was a good game, and he's not trying to – because
right.
he's subbing a lot of kids in. So, I mean, I think he's trying to just run out the clock as best he can. So,
And again, they're going to try to take as much time off of this clock as they can. There's 1:13 and counting. Quarterback's waiting for the 10-second signal from the referee.
we're about to be under a minute here.
Yep. And the 10-second count has started. And
he's
he takes a
taking
knee
knee.
down. Yeah, I'll give the credit to the coach on that one.
Yep.
He could have scored. He knows he could have scored, but respectful for this Bearcats team, and they just took a knee.
Yeah. So
by the time they spot this, let's see.
He'll spot it right under 40 seconds.
Yeah, they're kind of – they know what's going on.
Well,
and
my final thoughts, great effort. This JV team's going to have to learn how to finish. They're going to get there. And Friday night, come to the train yard. It's an hour drive to Fairfield, but get there.
But folks,
Find
that's
a way
going to
there.
be an electric atmosphere. It's going to be loud. Skylar and I will have the call from the train yard, but we'd rather you sitting in the stands across from us to watch that one versus sitting at home.
Yes.
But here in Carmi, with 8 seconds left in the game, no need for another snap. Carmi White County Bulldogs take this one 22-7 over the CZRE Bearcats. Final thoughts, Skylar?
No, not much else to add, Chuck. I think game, the score, it kind of all speaks for itself at this point.
Yeah, I agree with you. So we're going to wrap this one up here in Carmi. Again, final 22-7, Carmi over the Bearcats. For Skylar Stevens, this is Chuck Montgomery. Hope that everyone has a safe and good evening, and good night to all.